Welcome to the second chaotic video, and never in my life have I been terrified, horrified, and being like, not today, than a game like Visage. Before we get started, my name is C. I do sketch comedy, cosplays, and streams, and I need to talk about Visage. If you're looking for a horror game, a psychological horror game that you want jump scares, darkness, noises that happen out of nowhere, and the fact that you can't leave the house no matter what the reason is, Visage might be for you. But I gotta talk about this game because not only that I could only play this game for an hour, and needed to see cat videos the second after, and lock all my doors and close my windows and probably not buy a house. But on top of that, this game is just, it's scary. It's terrifying. Dios santo. One of the survival horror I played before Visage was Amnesia, and one of the subsections of Amnesia that I played that I remember was The Dark Descent and A Machine for Pigs. And that was my first introduction to this type of horror, psychological survival horror genre before Visage came along. Based on the internet, Visage came out in 2020. And it also had a Kickstarter, and apparently based on the Kickstarter when I was reading, this game was something that they had in development since 2016. The mechanics of the game is a first person. You have your little inventory. You have about, I believe, 5 to 4 sections of items that you can hold, like pills for your sanity, lighters, candles, any tools that you'll be needing throughout the game, such like a camera or a sledgehammer. You have an icon brain on the screen, and it tells you your sanity. Your sanity changes based on noises, any set of noises, like the radio turning on and off. And I'm telling you right now, if the radio's not playing La Mega, me tengo que ir. Something, 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 something. As I'm trying to not think about how scary this video game is. I turned off that radio like 5,000 times. At that point, why not just unplug it? Like, I don't need that type of stress in my life. If you're in the darkness for too long, your sanity will decrease and you will be affected by it. You'll start seeing things. It would affect your gameplay. Throughout this game, you're looking through drawers and cabinets and closets to find lighters, to find medication, to find pills, to find, I believe, Advil, ibuprofen. You need anything that you can get your hands on so you can play this game thoroughly. This game does contain content warning. The type of content in Visage is different than any type of the game. So it does tell you heads up that there will be content that is mature and could be, could be triggering. They do let you know that, which I appreciate. When you play the game, it does let you know the type of content. And throughout this video, I might touch on a bit of those subjects. So the content matter, that I might be touching upon, might have to do with murder, substance abuse, because those are the type of contents that Visage uses in the game as you're playing the protagonist, Dwayne. The game starts off with Dwayne doing a monstrous act. He kills his family, and you play as him now. As a player, you're trying to understand what happened. Why did Dwayne do this? What's going on? Who is Dwayne? And are we gonna get answers to his story? So in Visage, you have 3 chapters, technically 4. 3 chapters of different house owners lived in this house. And you have Dolores, Lucy, Rakan. And for me, the 2 chapters that I found the most terrifying and the ones that more impactful and had a lasting impression on me was Lucy and Dolores. Rakan, not so much. Rakan didn't do that for me in the game, but it did give you a new environment, so I thought that was really interesting. It did change you from a house to a hospital. The house changes depending the chapter you play, and I thought was interesting is the house it's its own person. It will change. If you're playing Dolores, the wallpaper will change, the rooms will slightly change. You're playing Lucy, it would also have effects on how you play the game. And you see in these chapters their events, their sufferings, what happened to them. And you have this beginning, middle, end with their chapters that I don't see with Dwayne. And I'm gonna get a little bit into it with Dwayne later, but you do see it in these individual chapters, the people who lived in this house and what they went through and why they went through this. And you feel that sadness, you feel that sorrow as you're figuring this out. their story through puzzles, through tapes, cassette tapes for the Lotus, for example. And then a little bit with Dwayne with the VHS tapes. The VHS tapes give you hints of the game and what you need to do, where you need to go next. I need to tell y'all something. This game at one point gives you items to use with depending on the chapter. Sometimes they'll give you a camera, and at one point I was like, what you need me to do with this camera? Do you want me to start taking pictures of the ghost? Like, you want me to do a whole photo shoot? It's okay. Camera, you know, it could be sometimes intimidating not knowing what you're gonna see when you take a picture. So maybe if you pose like this. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Okay. Give me, I'm the scariest bitch you ever seen, and I'm gonna haunt you for it. All right. You're killing it. Just don't kill me. Okay, it's great. You know, like, I mean, you got what it takes. I'm gonna develop this, and then we're gonna come back and take a look, and you know, we could just start something new here. There's moments of the game that also gives you tools like a sledgehammer, and you can't use the sledgehammer won't hit anything, mind you. Like, if you use a sledgehammer on like a brick wall, it won't break unless you do something with the puzzle to react to it that will cause it to start cracking so you can break it. You can't break a window, you can't break the wall, you can't break the door so you can get out the house. I will just tell you real quick, if I have a sledgehammer, why can't I break the window? Why can I not break the window? Like, I need to get out this damn house. The entrance of the house doesn't have a doorknob, so you can't open the door, but I'm pretty sure you could toss a chair real quick and call it a day. One thing I noticed about the house is how homey it was, and how it's set in the 1990s and 1980s, and you see like the environment, like the living room. This house is huge, y'all. Like, this house probably costs $20 in 1980s, because this house would be like $1 million, $2 million. You have a whole floor section, a second floor, the attic, the basement, which is the biggest basement I ever seen in my life of this house. This game has inspired me to not buy a house, because I'll be damned that I buy a house that big, also with what money, but like that big, and you hear those noises. Even when I played this game, I was like, I gotta make sure I don't hear anything, because you're so immersed in this game. You're so into this game with the sounds, the effects, the music. You're always on this edge of like, what's gonna happen? Like, is someone going to come after me? It feels like it feels like a home. You have pictures of somebody's bautizo and the wedding and children. You see Dwayne's family, you see kind of the house in its environment, and the house will be one of the things that will terrify you the most. Game makes you uncomfortable. This game makes you uncomfortable because they want to push your uncomfort. So if you like going through dark halls and you like opening the door when somebody is ringing, then this game is for you. They have moments where you had to go through a dark hall, and the only way you can get through this puzzle is that you have to go through this dark hall to know more of this story. Oh, there's blood. You know it's not good when there's blood. Oh god, I don't like that sound. Dolores? Mira, Dolores, I don't want the smoke. I truly don't, of course. I don't, you know, we don't gotta. Why are you standing like that, girl? Like, oh. Fuck this shit. All right, Dolores, I guess we have no choice than to talk it out. Listen, I'm here to help. I don't want the smoke. I have no choice than to go towards you. I trust that you're not gonna do anything, because I have no choice than to go this way. Another scene I can remember is that there's a point where Dolores will ring the front of the door of the house. You will not see me open that damn door. We will install security cameras from the door to the side. I don't care if this is 1990, 1980. We'll go to Sears, get us a 1990, 1987 security camera that the footage quality will be so pixelated you can't tell the difference, but it doesn't matter. As long as we see somebody, that's enough for me. There's moments of the game that like the Dolores chapter, that after you play it for some time and you're going through the chapter, you start realizing certain mechanics that are happening time and time again. Like with Dolores, she will always appear in the bathroom. Like, I mean, sometimes you gotta go, so I understand, but she always would appear in the bathroom. So when she would have like this laughter, that every time you hear her laughter, I would just know that she was already in the bathroom. And when you get to the bathroom, because I don't think the game expects you to go where she is sometimes. So when I would go past the bathroom, because I need to go down the stairs, she would disappear. For the most part, she would disappear. There was one moment she was chasing me, and I just slammed the door from the master bedroom. I went to the master bedroom and I was like, today is not the day, and I slammed the door in her face, and she was like, all right, fine, but I'm gonna catch you next time. Get to the main story, right? We see these 3 chapters I just told y'all about: Dolores, Lucy, Rakan. But now when we get to Dwayne, which is the character that we got this intense scene of what he did and understanding what exactly he did. When we get to him after we're done with these 3 chapters, kind of wrap things up of what's going on, I felt like it fell short. I'm not going to lie, I felt like it fell short story-wise with Dwayne. We had like just a window of what he was experiencing, a window of what we think that potentially could have led him to that point. Throughout the game, I found myself asking a lot of times, who is Dwayne? Why did he do that? What led him to that point? Why is he doing this? And at one point I even theorized on stream that I wonder if the house cursed him, because the house in itself is a persona. It changes, it manipulates the environment. It could also manipulate you. So at first I thought, is it possible that the house had a lot to do with this? So the house was part of taking over Dwayne, and he doesn't know who he is anymore. I think the difference between Dwayne and the other chapters is that the other chapters, you kind of got that beginning, middle, and end. With Dwayne, I felt we got an abrupt present, somewhat pieces of past, and then somewhat pieces of past that showed the truth. And then, if you get a good ending, he reunites himself with his family. I felt like it could have been more. In fact, if I would have, one thing I would have changed of Visage, and again, this is up to interpretation. Another person can play this game and find Dwayne's story completely fulfilling, beginning, middle, end, and they understood it. For me, I don't think I got the full Dwayne story. In fact, I don't know if Dwayne's story was even needed. What if it was a new character, someone who bought the house, wasn't associated with the house in the past? They bought the house, they were probably a couple. It doesn't have to be a family, it could be a couple, and the couple goes on vacation and they're just staying in the house, or someone that's taking care of the house while a family goes out on vacation, and they are experiencing these chapters from an outside perspective, because that's how we're experiencing them as a player. We're experiencing them from the outside perspective, looking in on these other people who lived in this house before us. And I remember reading reviews about Visage. Everybody had a mixed review. So some people loved the game, some people had mixed reviews, some people just didn't like it. And I think for me, I'm in the middle. I think it was terrifying. It's definitely thrilling. It's a game that I suggest playing with somebody or on stream with friends. It is a game that will put you on the edge of your seat. Story-wise, it will leave you with questions. Some chapters are fleshed out, some not so much. It's a game that I told y'all that I will only play for an hour, and when I was done, I have never been so excited to finish a game. Usually I'm the opposite, where I'm like, I don't want to finish a game. I was done with the game. The game was gone. But it was thrilling. The stories were interesting to see, to know, and kind of try to piece things together. I see a lot of amnesia within the game, and I know there's a lot of games that has influenced Visage. One of it was Silent Hill, so it definitely has inspiration from other games. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as much as I enjoy making this video. There is another video like this, which was Code Veronica, that I did. Check that out. Check out the sketch comedies that I do. If y'all are interested to see different type of content, links below to where you can find me. Subscribe if you like this video, or if you want to see more. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.